Yes, people, Danny T here from Danny T and Tradesman. Hope you're good. Mongo's Hi-Fi asked me to do a quick overview / breakdown video of our new single Mercy featuring Capleton, which has just been released on Scotch Bonnet Records. Produced by myself, Danny T, and Tradesman. This track actually came to my house with, I don't know, like a 1632 bar loop with the vocals on. And over a few beers, we just finished the whole thing off and 2 dub mixes in one sitting. I remember it being a pretty fun day. So this video, I'll just go through all the different channels, the different elements of the track, and what I think I remember our creative process was when making these decisions. I'll play the track from this point here, just to remind you about what it sounds like, so here you go. Yeah, there it is. Pretty tough step, 150 BPM, as you can see up here. So yeah, I'll just get straight into the, I guess the stems of it really, in the different tracks. So we'll bring our marker over here, okay? And I think for this we used Ultra Beat. Yeah, we did. So Ultra Beat, it's a pretty old school Logic drum synth sequencer. Quickly show you it now anyway. So click on here, and it's got this great view here where you can draw your drums in on the bottom, different patterns there. Okay, or you can click full view, and you can draw a pattern out like you would do on Fruity Loops, which some people prefer to do it. I guess it just depends how we're feeling at the time. Or you can just load them in and just play with the keyboard. So yeah, we've got the kick drum here. Yeah, one thing with Ultra Beat, if you don't turn it off, it plays everything over twice. It's really weird. Anyway, here's the kick drum. Okay, underneath you've got your hi-hat through Ultra Beat again. Now, this hi-hat is going into called a meta flanger. It's a Waves plugin, basically a flanger. So I'll play this back to you really quickly. Very phasey sort of sounding. I think it's called the classic phaser setting on a flanger. Pretty mad. So that is actually going into the reverb. I think it's just like a Space Designer snare plate, something like that. I'll have a look later on anyway. Below that we've got our percussion here, so going into the same phaser, flanger, waves, meta, whatever you want to call it, bus. Then we've got a shaker underneath. That's got an effect track on by Sound Toys. I think it's a Phase Mistress in there. Yep, Phase Mistress. With the input driven a little bit to get that sort of flavour from the plugin itself. Okay, that's laid with that. Then we've got the rim here, still Ultra Beat on there. I think I remember now why we've chosen this meta flanger. I think for the rim, ever so subtly, it would change the sound of the rim. Let's solo it and have a listen actually. I'll put this up a little bit to make it more noticeable. It's changing ever so slightly. Most people won't be able to hear that, but I guess in the dancing in your mind, it's makes it different, doesn't it? So kick, hi-hats, percussion, shaker, rim, and then we've got a snare playing some ghost snares and like a backup snare to lay with the rim. If you see the pattern here, it's hitting at the same time as the rim, and then there's these two here at a lower velocity. Okay. The drum roll is just a duplicated snare channel with a drum roll pattern programmed into it really. So yeah. There we go. Push P to get rid of that. Our keys or our skanks or our stabs here is M1. I'll show you which plugin it is on there. It's the Grand Harpsichord with its own effects still left on there. Guess if it sounds good at the time, you just keep it on, don't you? Also going into the meta flanger. Wow. So solo that, hear what that sounds like together. think whenever we're making tunes, myself and Tradesman, we don't like hammering channels with loads of different plugins or overthinking stuff really. I mean, if you look at a lot of the EQing on here, there's just a little boost there. I think what we like to do as well is we kind of like to turn things up on bits that we like. And say if you boosted something by like 3 dB, we'll kind of bring it down, sort of tuck it under the line, keep it at that level. And yeah, like the kick is just cut a 50. I think it's important when you're programming drums or even selecting your samples for the drums you're going to program, is to pick the right samples to begin with. There's no point sitting there tweaking something for ages. It just means it's not the right one. So it's important just to kind of play around, but at the same time, don't get bogged down just going through the same different kicks, packs and all that sort of stuff. So you kind of got to be lucky in a way as well. We've got here, at this channel here, it says nasal bounce. Now what this was is, we had a synth, an old synth, a Waves one called Element 1. And Tradesman made a little patch on that. It's down here somewhere. Yeah, there we are. But unfortunately, I've only got the demo version, so what I've had to do is kind of bounce it in place and replace the blank bits with other parts of the sample to kind of fill it out. But I'll play that now. I'll play it from here. Yeah, nasal bounce. What a name for a preset. There you go. Yeah, pretty cool preset. So yeah, that's a Waves Element 1 synthesizer. Yeah, sub bass here. This is just off Logic sampler. When you first load up the sample in Logic, you're given a sine wave, and if you put these settings on here, these exact settings here, okay. For us, it gives us the best sub bass, and then depending on the style of track you're doing, take a bit of top end off. Okay, leave a bit of top end on if it's more 80s sort of dancehall. You might want to boost the drive a bit to hear the sub. Okay, so I'll play that all together now. Like I say, just don't overthink it when you're making beats. Like if you start going down a bit of a rabbit hole or trying to be too surgical, it's almost cutting the life out of stuff. It's nice just to get a nice natural balance. I think when producing music and kind of enjoy it really. This next channel here, Spring Twang, is, yeah, that is a spring reverb tank that I plugged in to the audio interface. Just give it a whack and recorded it in for the purpose of this track. I'll play that now. There we go. I think I put on a few snares, to be fair, or we chose to do it kind of like a, I don't know, thunder in the background. And on the B side, there's a track called Thunderclap as well. So it kind of goes well. Got the crash here underneath. I'll play all these things now, all these aspects now, elements. Okay, yeah, that is on a snare actually. Listen out for that spring twang. So you might not have noticed that until I showed you that. So yeah, what else have we got? We'll just do vocals last because it's pretty straightforward as well. JV 1080 bits now. This is a recording from our Roland JV 1080 synth. I think Tradesman came to me with this. I think he just pushed his finger on a preset, messing with a few parameters on it, and just recorded the audio in. I'll play that now actually. Yeah, do you know what? I'll solo it as well. I think it's some weird like bells and percussion. It's crazy, isn't it? But it just fits well with the track. Very good. Then we got a riser. And there you go. You don't hear too many of those in dub tracks, you know. It's more kind of dancey EDM, D&B sort of tracks you hear that, but it goes well with the tune. Kind of makes it quite modern, I think. We've got a pipe here, just in the background. Play this on its own first. So that is the Element synth. Luckily, it's short enough to not be what's the word? Punished with bits of silence in it, like the nasal slider. Yeah, the nasal slider. Yeah. So we've got that in the background there. Got the riser. This growl bass channel here. So this is the channel that we send our sub bass to. Okay. It kind of distorts it, and then you can latch on here, which sort of records automation on the fly, and you can mess around with the EQ. I'll try and find the bit first actually where it comes on. Let's have a look. Let me check this automation here. Yeah, so it's going to turn on around here. Yes, I'll play it for you now, and I'll mess with the EQ. Yeah, so it should unmute now. On this left-hand side here, I think we've done some stuff already to it, the volume and whatever, but you'll see it move around, and I'll move this, and you can hear the sort of tone change in the growl bass channel. I hope you could hear that in the background there. Kind of just sort of sweeping this band around, a bit like on a mixing desk. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the growl bass. What else have we got to do? Yeah, if you're in Logic as well, just push A to access any automation, and you can like check which send it is. Pretty all over the place, to be honest. Vibing out, clearly. Yeah, delay channel is just, I think it's, Echo Boy Junior. Just like Echo Boy, but easier to use. And studio tape setting always. Alright, that kind of fizzles off quite nicely. Vocals then, we'll get onto the vocals. Let's have a look. So, compress them, but don't squeeze them too much. We no need no water. Up and we just blaze up the fire. Okay, because you can see by the waveform as well, they're already pretty out there, aren't they? Okay. Slap back echo underneath. Yeah, space designer, reverb, multi vocals, one of my favourite settings. I think it's just in small spaces, rooms. It's right at the bottom down there. Yeah, multi vocals. It's amazing for vocals, just to like, I don't know if you've got like a cappella or you're mixing on a dub plate or something, just whack that on after you slap back. You'll see here we've got two EQs. I think this top one here is like an automation EQ, where we've kind of like sweeped it around in the intro. And this one here is like the sort of the statutory EQ here, which kind of lives right at the end. And then we've got a gain knob here. I think when you latch something and you move the volume knob, the volume fader, sorry, I think it kind of messed things up. So I think at the time it was easier to just put a gain plug in on there and just bring it down. We couldn't be bothered even going in at the time we couldn't bother doing this, doing that, and messing with the volume. But yeah, it was just easier anyway. Just put a gain on there, you know, it's just vibes at the time. So yeah, compression, slapback, reverb. I think it's like a sweeping EQ. Let's have a look. I think it's at the beginning. Rastafari bless, don't it? It's the king of fire. Yeah, there you go. Tell them some can't cool. Yeah, to save going back. Basically, we're just being lazy. Just putting another EQ underneath once it's opened up. That's pretty much it for the track itself. Pretty straightforward. I think we did a little bit of trackpad dubbing, which I'll do another video on. I'll probably put that on my Patreon page as well. and I will go into a bit more detail on there about other elements and different types of processing, such as the drum bus we've used, our favourite sort of presets that we start off with when mixing down drums. I might even cover some mastering as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tune and the other 2 cuts that have come out on the vinyl. And the other side, we've got a tune called Thunderclap with Junior Cat. So yeah, Capleton Mercy, produced by Danny T and Tradesman, out on Scotch Bonnet Records. And as always, big up Mungo's Hi-Fi.
Rastafari, let's do it. Tell them some can't cool, nah cool, can't